Hey people, what's going on? It's Friday. Let's move. Let's get it going. Friday the 26th of January. Cheers. I've already had my first sip. This is the second with you. Love it. Folks, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to continue. Okay. And for those who don't like me talking about my business, just you can go away. I'm feeling empowered by deciding to go ahead and address just full on, the anonymous abuse that I've been dealing with for almost 10 years. When Ellie pointed that out to me, that just made me even angrier. I've been putting up with this shit for almost 10 years. These lying motherfuckers. So you folks that don't understand, who have never been through something like this, who keep telling me, you're just feeding the trolls. I don't care what you think. And other folks who come on and say, ooh, looks like they're getting to them. I don't care about that. I don't care about your opinion. This is my life. Okay? Very simple. Reading the, yes, a vinyl brother from a different mother. I love it. Yes. And yes, I don't feel that Zero Set is so bad seeing it as an 80s cover. I know what you mean about it. We're so much more sensitive now, and not in a good way, regarding cultural appropriation and all kinds of shit. It's like the more information we've gotten, the dumber we've gotten. We don't use it well. We seem to use it to beat each other up. And I see from another person, I've experienced racism since day one out of the womb. No shit. Yeah. I'm glad you're approaching this head on. To ignore it is to accept it. And I agree with you, brother. Fuck that. Okay? And the trolling is the same. Oh, just ignore them. They'll go away. No, they won't. We have one of the biggest trolls in the United States trying to get back in the presidency of the United States, and we have idiots encouraging him. I will not be silent. I will not be silent. I will talk about music. Eric Hee or whatever your real name is made the comment that I was saying that I blew my wad yesterday. I spent a bunch, and I'll show some more. But he said, oh, so you're not going to get the new Smile tomorrow? Good one, Eric. I do intend to go get the Smile today, because I also have a hold that I need to go pick up before it runs out. So last night, Blake stopped by, and young people are something else. I love Blake, and we are going to get some serious work started. We've started on the Muse 2, but nothing yet is. I've only got snippets that I could use, and that's not what I want. So we hung out, caught up, with what's happening with him as well as me. And I played some new music for him. Not that I was necessarily intending it for the Muse, but I played a couple things, and I love his response because it's honest. So there's going to be some brand new material out of me on the Muse. So we listened to some music for a while, and I talked to him about Soft Machine because he's interested in vinyl records. We didn't listen to this, but we talked about it. I can't reach them easily, but I have the majority of Akiko Yano's albums, especially on CD. I've got probably 40 CDs by Akiko Yano, including the first one with Little Feet. I have that. So some more of the records that I got and just whatever else. And I was showing the records to Blake, so I hope I don't repeat myself. Okay, let's try not to repeat myself. Okay. So, The Chills, New Zealand, Snowbound. Martin Phillips, great songwriter. Can't remember if I showed this, but I was real glad to get that. Here's one that was a radio hit, but the B-side I liked even better. Brian Hyland. Now he had some hits way back in the 60s, and then he had a comeback in the 70s with the song Gypsy Woman, written by Curtis Mayfield. Now what's interesting is this is an album basically of covers, but it's produced by Del Shannon. Remember I was just playing Del Shannon, and it shows this has high quality arrangements. And the last song on the B-side is You and Me. It's a Del Shannon song. I love it. When I was a kid and had the single Gypsy Woman, I played the B-side, You and Me. That was my song. I've always loved this label. Still love it, Uni. And when I was a kid, buying cutouts, a lot of times, since I didn't know what the records were, if I saw that it was on this label, I got it, because I liked the label. And once again, this is an example of the rhythm section that Lee Sklar was in that was almost like the Wrecking Crew, because it's him on bass on here and Russ Kunkel on drums. Those guys did a lot of work together. This is really good, real good pop album. Here's one I used to see and never got in the cutouts back in the day. I think this goes back to 1969 or 70. The Split Level. Excuse me. I grabbed it. Covers beat, but you don't see it. So I grabbed it. I'm glad I did. Looking at the cover, I would expect or kind of assume that most likely this will be kind of a pastiche pop project. This is better than that. It's almost like chamber rock. There's a classical feel to this, and they used these people can really play. Apparently the woman Liz Seneff was some kind of actress as well. Remember when we used the word actress? Apparently now it's not okay. You just say actor for both sexes or all sexes. That's fine with me, but remember, I'm old. I remember when it was not so weird. This is very, very good pop. Not psychedelic. No. Just real good music. And they sing really well too. It's really good. Here's another original that I got. It's not worth anything. It's just, again, it's what it means to me. And as I've been saying over the years, when I'm able to acquire these records from my childhood, all the psychedelia and stuff that I get it. I grab it. So I grabbed this for $10. Recently, I got a reissue of their the album with the real psychedelic cover, Hapshash, and the Colored Coat. And I believe this is the second album, Western Flyer. These guys here were mainly, they had this shop called The Fool, and they have an album called The Fool. I want that album. Clothes designers mainly, but they were in on the big psychedelic explosion, the big color explosion back in the 60s, that really the Beatles had a lot to do with spurring or starting. So this album is, I only listen to part of side one because this is an example of a record where it's more the nostalgia of being able to have it now and play it at my leisure. Because it's kind of so-so, it's like they're not real musicians, and so the ideas are so. I see that T.S. McPhee from the Groundhogs is the guitarist on this album, and then Mike Batt, who has done a lot of stuff. The Wombles, did I get that right? Was he the guy behind the Wombles? But Mike Batt is on here. So they had accomplished musicians backing them. It's a good album. Here's one. I have their other album, original. Now I have this one. It's a reissue, though. The Insect Trust. Once again, check out that wonderful cover. Another one done by the Phoenix record label. Now, what's interesting now is when I look on Discogs, some Phoenix titles are considered legitimate and resell. They resell them, and others are said that it's not. I don't understand. But anyway, they did such a beautiful job on these records. The high quality pressings and the covers. This was a kind of a folk rock thing. And am I just now noticing this? I'll be damned. There's a one sheet on the inside that tells their story. I didn't notice it when I bought it. So now I can really find out the story. Yeah, it looks like, what I gathered is that, folk roots for this band. People probably meeting each other at hootenannies. Remember that term, hootenanny? We're going to a hootenanny. Good album. So, I took a chance on one album. It was cheap, but I could tell. Sometimes I can just tell by the cover that I'm going to like it. So this is one. I kept looking at it, and I was looking for information that would tell me something about the project that I might know, and nothing. AJO Sunshine, J.R.C.G. Justin R. Cruz Gallego. I don't recognize these names. I didn't look at the vinyl, so it wasn't because of that. When I pulled it like that, I could see that, red vinyl, okay. But something about this cover just said to me, this is good. Download card. I've only played one side, but it is very good. I can't describe it because I have to listen to it again. But by the time it was ending, I was saying, what was that? That's really good. And then it's on this type of vinyl where they have that splash of color. So I was very happy with my one ticket. Like I said, I was celebrating. And one of your viewers agreed that it's a great way to celebrate. And that was part of it. It's something I used to like to do, is take a chance on records, okay? Grapefruit is a fantastic record shop. So they had this in used. I've been after this for years for my collection of old stuff. Maximillian. This is a reissue, though. It's black rock. Back in the day, I'd have to look up the this is, I think I can get this right quick, the date of this. Is it 1970? Excuse me. I'll have another sip while I'm looking this right quick. It should get... Maximillian. Originally came out in 1969. I think on ABC Records originally. Yeah. New York-based African-American hard rock psych trio. And it looks like nothing happened after this album for this guy, but kind of I understand why. This starts off really rough. The first song on this is actually pretty shit, actually. It gets better after that. It's really rough, bluesy. Naked Ape is the name of it, and it's misogynistic to me. It's, one of those songs about women that's not very nice. Gets better from there. But just the whole vibe, the whole thing that's happening. Look at this. 1969, black people making rock music, trying to make inroads into the white-dominated uh, market. And I've had this for a long time on burned CD. Someone burned it and sent it to me. But I've been wanting it. Glad to get a pink vinyl. So there's that for the collection, a colored vinyl version. Now I haven't gotten to side 2, and I haven't played this for a long time. So I'm imagining that there's something good on this album. Like I said, it starts off kind of shitty, but I've been wanting this album forever. Maximillian. Real happy to get that. I got a couple more here. Do I? Or is that it? They all got mixed up while I was showing them to Blake. Just a couple more. Yeah. So I don't think I showed this yesterday. I was real happy to get this and was surprised because this was shown a couple of videos back on Instagram by Grapefruit, and I thought, well, I'm probably going to miss this because they showed it over the weekend when it was still really icy, but it was still there. It's a reissue, but wow, do some of you people know what this record is? I bet Michael P. Dawson knows this album, might even have it. The Pretty Things, Electric Banana, arranged and directed by Reginald Tilsley. This is a library music album that they made back in the day. Originals of this are very collectible and hard to find. So when I saw this, I said, what? I knew it couldn't be an original. The Pretty Things are definitely one of those bands that is in the same league as the Beatles and the Stones, and they were contemporaries of them at the time. And they are as good in many ways. The Pretty Things are just a much better band than those bands. Both the Beatles and the Stones. These guys were a killer band. Killer. And this is, damn. They were really good at everything. Playing, writing, attitude. Real happy to add this to the collection. And 2 more. I think this will do it. I think this will be it. Another one that was in the used, and I'm saying, what? It's in the used? It's a reissue, but still, really? It made it to Omaha, and I get it? Matt's Glenngard's Kostalag. I've been wanting this album for a long time. This is one of those records from, I believe it's Swedish, Matt's Glenngard. Back in the day, this has that, like Tradgrass Oxtenar. This has a jamminess to it, a folkiness to it, and that essence rare that I'm saying, that I look for. I was talking to Blake about that last night. Gang of Four made a song called I Found That Essence Rare. I use that term because that's what I'm looking for in music and art. What I consider the essence rare, and it's not the same for everyone, but certain records have it. This has it. It's the cover. Can't you see by the cover? It's like it's a world of its own. It's really good. It starts off real folky, and then when the whole band starts in, it's got that magic. It's got that magic, okay? I was real happy to get this. And I don't know if I showed this yesterday or not, but was real happy to get this reissue, 40th reissue of Grauzone. Now, I've had this since it came out on CD, 3-inch CD out of Belgium. Minimalist punk band that went electric. And they were way ahead of the game by accident because they got some electronic equipment, and before they really knew how to use it, they made some loops, and they ended up with film number 2 and Ice Bear. They tell the story in here. This is nice. Nicely done. And that's not the only good stuff. They were a good band, really minimalist, but good. So very, very happy with my purchases let me see, is there anything else? That's it. Very happy. Also very pleased that for a change, I'm not feeling any anxiety about having bought the records. If some sort of dilemma happens and I need money, well, I do have some. Something real big happens, like for most people, we're in up shit creek, even with insurance, right? So, to wrap up, um, the focus right now is practice for David Nance's record release, because I'm playing keyboards. I use the keyboard to write. I'm not a pianist. So playing it like a piano is I'm having to practice these parts because I use it to write and I can take things apart. I don't have to play them in real time. And that's how I'm able to make these records. So this is good for me. But what I'm saying is I talked to Blake about it and James last night because James called and we had a three-way discussion about the Muse #2. They're excited about, they're excited now too because it's a collaboration. I have the record deal, but I want their names on the record, like the Muse. I'll say again, you folks, you don't have to wait till next Friday to buy any of my music. Next Friday is Bandcamp Friday, and I hope that I get some sales on Bandcamp Friday. But this is fantastic. Not because I made it, but because it's good. It has to be good. It had to be good because I'm going to listen to it. So the focus is on getting the David Nance together, but Blake in particular is excited now about the idea of the second coming out on vinyl. It's special. It is. Making records is special. I watched a couple of documentaries. I like documentaries. I watched a documentary on the female band Kitty. Never liked them, but I liked watching the story. Very interesting. Kitty, I never really thought they were very good, but watching their story and seeing what they went through, it's like, wow, what people go through for their art. Then I watched a documentary about the band Talk, which is very interesting because Mark Hollis is dead and his management would have nothing to do with it and wouldn't let them play any music. So that was interesting to see, and my heart goes out to the surviving members of Talk because they don't have a legacy that they can celebrate. They can't play the music publicly. They'll get sued and all that crazy ass shit. But it caused me to pull up the CD. I haven't played it yet. I've got it and I'm gonna refresh myself. But Orang, Herd of Instinct. This is a project that came out of two members of Talk. And this is interesting. I can't remember how to describe it, but I remember that it's different. And it's got these cool graphics. I love that when, it's a bit of an air of mystery. Yeah. So this is out for play. Okay. So I'll leave it at that, folks. Stay in touch with me. Stephanie, if you see this, I'm rooting for you. It sounds like you're getting close to actually starting your job. It's madness what people go through these days for a job. She's got her new employers are asking all kinds of questions about her family's background. What's that got to do with the fucking job? I hate this. I hate how crazy the world has devolved because of money. This is all because of material, the material focus of humans. We're too stupid to see our own divine nature, and we kill each other for stuff that falls apart in the long run anyway. We're so stupid. We are stupid in general. So try not to be stupid personally. I'm trying not to be. Bless you all. Take care.